How to win a woman's trust if she has been hurt before. Well, in a previous video, I talked about the main reasons why women don't trust men. Now, if you can't get past a woman's defenses, either you won't develop an intimate relationship with her, or she'll always have one eye on the exit. So let's unlock the secrets to creating a safe and trusting relationship with your lady love so she can learn to trust and feel safe with you. Now remember, even if she has never had a bad relationship experience, trust isn't given freely, it's earned just like it should be for you. And by the way, many of these suggestions are also the secrets for women to build a trusting and loyal relationship with men. Relationships are work and require ongoing effort. Just like maintaining a car you love or going to the gym, if you want a long-term happy relationship, you can't take each other for granted. Because if you do, soon the initial spark of attraction and appreciation turns into resentment, contempt, frustration, and misery, leaving you lonely or brokenhearted. In this video, you'll learn 12 ways to make her feel safe and learn to trust you, and a common and frustrating example that involves your female friendships and her male friendships. If you're new to my channel, I help men decode modern women so you can find, attract, and keep your keeper, or simply have better relationships with women. Welcome to Just the Tip. Okay, before we jump in, I need to stress these situations aren't about being a pushover or sacrificing your values. If you're not willing to compromise to help make her feel safe because your values won't allow for it, you're not right for each other. Remember also, you'll have areas of insecurity that you'll want her to be sensitive and considerate about as well. So, how to make her feel safe and learn to trust you. Number 1, consent and respect. Always make sure you both say heck yeah before diving in. In fact, ask her, is that a heck yeah? She gets a challenge and you get express agreement. Number 2, open communication. Lay your truths on the table with open and honest communication and let her share her feelings without turning the dial to judgment. Seek first to understand, my friends. Number 3, respect boundaries. Respect her personal boundaries and comfort levels. If your values align, this will be way easier. You'll know what I mean when we get to the examples. All right, number 4, be reliable. Don't be flaky. If you say you do something, follow through. Consistency is key to building the trust bridge. When it comes to trust, being reliable isn't the surprise roller coaster of emotions she's longing for, assuming she's emotionally healthy. Number 5, empathy and understanding. Showing empathy and support helps her get on the trust train. Some men mistakenly confuse empathy for being a pushover. Not so. 6, prioritize emotional connection. Forget about Netflix and chill, well, for now, but think about heart-to-heart conversations. Often emotional connection simply means listening without offering advice. Dive deeper into her thoughts and dreams, and you'll be the star of her emotional show. Number 7, be patient. Ain't no microwave relationship here. Building trust takes time, especially if she's been burned before. 8, be vulnerable. Wait, what? Yeah, if you want her to bare her body, it's time to bare your soul. Show her your own vulnerability and you'll create a safe space for her to do the same. But, key point, there's a big difference between attractive vulnerability and being weak or pathetic. More on that in a minute. 9, avoid manipulative tactics. Leave the sneaky stuff at the door. Being genuine and honest, especially when that's difficult, is the key to her letting down her moat of trust. 10, respect her independence, especially nowadays, boss babes. Even if she's not fiercely independent, let her do her own thing when she needs to. Don't be possessive or controlling. Hashtag insecure. 11, show respect to others. It's like a trust ripple effect. Showing respect to those around her will bounce back to you. Though, if her friends don't deserve respect, that might be a red flag. 12, acknowledgement and validation. Just like you need to feel acknowledged and validated, so does she. Even if you disagree. Validating doesn't mean agreeing with all the time. Disagreement doesn't have to mean rejection. Bonus. Learn and adapt. The only constant is change. Life is going to throw storms at both of you, so try to ride the waves together. By the way, If you're finding value in this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing and maybe sharing it. Okay, now let's look at a fairly common situation and suggested dialogue that covers a lot of these. If you've never had this kind of conversation, it will absolutely feel painfully awkward at first and require a ton of vulnerability, also known as courage. It's not your fault. You weren't taught how to do this, but you can learn. All right, example. Sarah, a girl you started dating and really like, feels uncomfortable when you spend your time with your longtime friend Amy, and it's putting a dent in her trust meter because her last boyfriend cheated on her with a friend. Ouch. Okay, so first take a deep breath and put on your empathy hat. You're going to say something like, with a reassuring tone, "Hey Sarah, I've noticed you seem a bit uneasy when I hang out with Amy. I want to talk to you about that." All right, so you noticing her discomfort and bringing it up before she does wins you a trust point. She might say, if she's healthy, "You do spend a lot of time together." And then you might say, with empathy, "I get where you're coming from," and that it makes you uncomfortable. Amy's been my friend for a long time and I really value her friendship, but it's completely platonic and my priority is our relationship. So you're showing empathy and reinforcing your commitment to Sarah. Trust point. If she's healthy, she might say, "Well, I guess I just worry that spending so much time with her might lead to something more." That's understandable. You, reassuringly, might say something like, "I understand your concerns and I want to assure you Amy and I are just friends. You're the woman I desire. But is there something specific that makes you feel uneasy about our friendship?" Okay, addressing the concerns head on and being open to her feelings without judgment or defensiveness. Trust point her. If she's healthy, she might say, "It's not that I don't trust you, but I've been hurt in the past and it's hard not to let that affect me." You, compassionately, "Well, it sucks you were hurt and you definitely deserve better than that. I can't change what happened to you, but I can promise to always be honest. Let's figure out how to make us both feel secure." Whew. Acknowledging her past and showing your commitment to growth. Point. Okay, then you might say something else. "Let's make a pact. If something makes you uncomfortable, I want you to bring it up and we'll work through it together." Woo, I know. How mature. A convo with understanding, empathy, and building bridges. Trust point. Of course, Sarah takes a breath and visibly relaxes, getting closer to you. All right, so depending on her insecurities and your values, you may need to make some compromises with Amy until Sarah feels safe enough to trust that friendship, just like you might require if the situation was reversed. Let's say things are progressing with Sarah, but you can tell your friendship with Amy still bothers her. Maybe she gets a bit quiet after you've spent time alone with Amy. Not to punish you necessarily, but to keep her own vulnerable feelings in check. Just in case. You might say something like, with support, "So hey, I've been thinking about our conversation about Amy and I want you to know I respect your feelings and want to make sure we're on the same page. Is there something I can do to help you feel more at ease with my friendship with Amy?" Sarah might say something like, "Well, I really appreciate that. I think it would make me feel more comfortable if you could spend less one-on-one time alone with her." You, understanding, might say, "I hear you. Your feelings are important and I'm open to adjusting things to make you feel more at ease. What would feel like a comfortable compromise for you?" So, acknowledging her feelings and initiating a conversation about finding common ground. Trust point. Now, she might say, "Well, maybe we could set a guideline that you don't spend more than a certain amount of time alone with her, or just not alone together at her place. That would really ease my worries." Seems reasonable, right? Okay, so you might say reassuringly, "I can do that. I'd feel the same way if the situation was reversed." So this shows you're flexible and fair, not guided by ego, selfishness, stubbornness, or defensiveness, but willing to create emotional safety for her. Trust point. She will thank you, hopefully. "Thank you for understanding. I don't want to be controlling, and I don't want you to abandon your friendship with Amy. I just really appreciate your willingness to make me feel less anxious," or something like that. She should say something like that. Ladies, say something like that. You might also say, "It's not about your control. Your request is reasonable." So that's reinforcing her trust and understanding. It's not controlling. You get a trust point. So she can feel better knowing that you can talk openly about things like that. And then you can cut to scenes we can't show on YouTube. Okay, so here's the bonus round that'll make life way easier for you, Sarah, and Amy. Rather than suddenly avoiding Amy or making excuses when she suggests getting together, you actually seek her out to discuss the situation. All healthy relationships require courage, my friend. So, after having thought about how you'd feel if the situation was reversed, you decide to go for top bonus points. You approach Amy with a friendly smile. Hey, Amy. So there's something I need to talk to you about. Okay, I'm a bad actor, but anyway. Amy, curious? Sure thing, what's on your mind? Then you might say, honestly, well, as you know, I've been seeing Sarah for a while and I really like her. I think it might be a good idea for us to hang out more often with Sarah around. I want her to feel safe with our friendship and get to know you. If Amy's a good friend, she'll say something like, sure, I want that. I want you to be happy in your relationship. And then you appreciatively can say, I knew you'd get where I'm coming from. And then Amy would say with a smile, let's plan something we can all do together soon. And don't worry, I won't bring up any of your embarrassing stories. All right, so it probably won't go exactly like that. But whoa, top trust points earned and friendships secured. So as I've mentioned, if you've never had this type of conversation, it's going to feel very awkward. But if Amy really is a friend, she will want what's best for your relationship with Sarah. If not, I would question that friendship. Gentlemen, trust is like a delicate flower that needs nurturing. It takes some women longer to build trust than others, and it can disappear in an instant. Lost trust is much more difficult to recover from. By creating a safe and supportive environment, you'll build a rock-solid foundation for a healthy relationship. And when you gain her trust, she'll open up to you like that delicate flower. But what about that sexy vulnerability I mentioned? Some men mistakenly think masculinity means ditching the tender side. Heck no. There's a key difference between masculine vulnerability that automatically makes her yearn for intimacy with you and the kind that instantly turns her off. And it all has to do with love and fear. So, to learn more about sexy vulnerability versus cringe vulnerability, watch my video on balancing vulnerability now. And if you want to know whether or not she's worth the effort, watch my video on the 25 signs she is a keeper. Thanks for being here. Lots of love. God bless.